breaking news. Did you hear about what just came through right now?
No.
Rob, if you want to pull up the breaking news. Breaking news is the judge officially is allowing Trump to go to Barron's graduation, but he did fine him $9,000 for the gag whatever violation. So judge threatens ex-president incarceration punishment over gag order violations, but allows him to attend Barron's graduation, go a little bit lower. Former President Trump returns to court for Stormy Daniels' hush money trial. Trump was fined $9,000 for repeated gag order. The judge threatened him with incarceratory punishment if necessary and appropriate should Trump continue to violate the gag order. The judge also allowed Trump to have May 17 off from the trial to attend his son Barron's graduation. Go a little lower to see what President Trump protesters gathered outside of Manhattan Criminal Court to voice their support. Demonstrators brandishing Trump's flag can be heard chanting, "We want Trump" at Collect Pond Park. A pro-Trump motorcade drove through Lower Manhattan blasting a song whose lyrics include F Facebook, F Twitter too, go a little lower. Okay, that's weird. So Michael Cohen's ex-bank, Gary Farrell, who testified that he helped set up the Michael Cohen used to pay off Stormy Daniels, is now off the stand. Farrell and Cohen said they did not tell him that the company would use any pay adult entertainment star and that he would have certainly asked additional questions had he been informed. It is an industry that we do not work with. He said on stand, we might consider that a reputational risk. The trial will resume in a new witness after a 15-minute break. The most important part of this whole thing is, Rob, go all the way to the top. What does the judge mean saying threatens the president with incarceratory punishment? What does that mean?
Gag order.
That's when you get led from
jail.
Hang on. That's right. You get led from the courtroom and you go to the local jail, which is the equivalent of the drunk tank, also called the detention center, where they would hold you overnight. You would sober up, and then your friend comes and picks you up in the morning. That's it. It's the overnight jail. It's like, take him into custody, and you end up overnight in the clinic.
Any mugshots or no?
But by the way, if that happens, the Democrats need to understand, they better stop saying this, because this is the kind of stuff that, by the way, they just gave him another half point in the polls when they do that.
Yeah,
when the judge says that, and the people in New York hear it, certain people, it's like putting oxygen into the polls.
This is such a backfire for them, but Tom, they just can't stop. Because they started this BS witch hunt. Now they can't stop, and it's getting them stronger and stronger and stronger. Bro, New Yorkers are in the streets protesting for him. I think it's fantastic. Good for him.
The national polls don't even matter.
Here's further news. The judge finds Trump in contempt for violating gag orders. Trial continues. Judge Juan Merchan ruled Donald Trump violated the gag order 9 times for criticizing expected trial witnesses and posts on social media. Trump must pay $9,000 by the end of the week. I don't know if he's going to come up with it. Yeah. The judge also threatened incarceration if Trump willfully violates the gag order again.
You know, Pat, the backdrop of this is there is a trade war that is starting right now between the U.S. and China on apps, and Apple is actually helping China. On the 19th, we just go back, it was a very quiet story, but Apple is pulling things out of its app store in China. In China, people are sideloading WhatsApp and then using VPN so that they can communicate with people around the world, like relatives and things like that, and have the CCP, maybe not see it. And then Apple pulled WhatsApp, Threads, and Signal, and that's just the beginning. So this is going back and forth, where China is now saying, okay, well, I'm taking this off, and all they do is they ask Apple to do it, and Apple is acting sort of like the Secretary of State for China at the moment, complying with this. Whereas what did Musk do in Brazil? He went face-to-face with the judge. Now, ultimately capitulated, but he went face-to-face and says, no, I'm not going to do this automatically, So...
By the way, go pull up this guy's profile, Juan Merchan, guy from Bogota, Colombia. If you can pull him up real quick. Yeah, Juan Merchan.
Judge?
Rob, it's Merchan.
Merchan.
Yeah. So go to his Wikipedia, Rob. Go to his Wikipedia. So zoom in a little bit. So check this out. So here's a guy who was appointed by Bloomberg.
Weird.
Political views in the middle. During the 2020 U.S. presidential election, Merchan donated $15 to the Democratic Party. Deep pockets, obviously.
Yeah, he's rich.
And to Joe Biden's campaign, $10 to the Progressive Turnout Project, and $10 to Stop Republicans, a subsidiary of the previous. And if you look at who gave him the job, Merchan, there you go. became a judge in 2006. New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg appointed him, and he remained until the role of 2009, and then he's done a bunch of other things. So that is who's presiding over this whole thing here. So I got a question, Tom. What happens if President Donald Trump does a 2-hour podcast right now, okay? If he does a 2-hour podcast right now, openly speaks, okay, talks about where he's at, what does it do if he does a long-form 2-hour podcast right now?
And criticizes the judge or criticizes the witnesses?
Well, he's going to do it. If he goes 2 hours,
Right.
he's going to criticize him. And he says exactly what's on his mind. What happens?
He will go into court, and
Yep.
the court will immediately say, you know, they probably will have the state, the prosecutor, and his lawyer quickly meet in chambers, and the judge will say, "Look, you know what? This is contempt. I'm going to find your client in contempt, and we're going to take him into custody." Or without even having a sidebar, he just says, "Court's now in session." It says, "Mr. Trump, it was observed you're on a 2-hour podcast. You just said this and this. I warned you. I told you. I fined you $9,000 court cost that you paid. But you know what? This cannot stand. I find you in contempt." Wraps the judge can do it. It's like an executive order within the court case, procedural. "I find you in contempt. I'm finding you this. And deputy, will you please take him into custody?"
Okay, stay with me here. Stay with me here. Does that help him or hurt him with the election?
I think it completely helps him, because to people like me, it's a freedom of speech thing. You're trying to gag this guy while you're trying to choke this guy.
Okay, stay with me
That's
here.
my point.
Remember when Colorado tried to prevent him to even be on the ticket? Who came in and intervened?
The U.S. Supreme Court said 7-2 that this can't stand, and then the other two liberal justices, without comment, went along with the vote to make it 9-0.
Okay, so then, say they put him in jail, okay, the whole whatever threat he's given, right? Say they put him in jail. How long before the Supreme Court gets involved in saying, what the hell are you guys doing?
Well, this would be procedural in New York Supreme Court, the contempt thing, and then he'll be out in 24 hours or 6 hours. But the whole point is that you need a court decision then to go to the Supreme Court. So once they're done with this, they can appeal it.
Okay, let me continue my questioning, Tom. The length of this gag order, Rob, if you can look it up, what is the length of this gag order? Do you guys know?
I do not know, but what will probably show up is a length of time covering the trial itself.
Okay, so if the length in time covering the trial itself, can I, as Judge Juan Merchant or whatever the guy's name is, can I delay this trial, Tom, till November 10th?
Oh, yeah. And yes, you can.
Okay.
And that is exactly the risk to freedom and the proper
So
process.
stay with me here. So if I can extend this trial till November 10th, and if since Biden on Howard Stern, if you can play the clip, Biden on Howard Stern came out tough, saying, yes, he will agree to, go ahead and play this clip.
Fantasy I had. I don't know if you're going to debate your opponent.
I am somewhere. I don't know when. I'm happy to debate him.
No idea where he is.
So he's saying he's happy to debate him. Okay. Trump suggested let's debate at the White House because it's comfortable for you, because you don't have to leave, get out of bed or whatever.
Yeah.
He's kind of teasing him a little
Crushed
bit.
him.
So if he debates Biden while he has the gag order, while this it's still going, the trial's still going, can he still fine him with the gag order while he calls out the judge and calls out New York? Can they come and say, during the debate, you said such and such, because of that, we're putting you in jail? Can they do that?
Oh, absolutely. When a court case is in motion, that judge is God and can fine you. The court, meaning the judge, finds you in contempt and can fine you and hold you overnight.
Then guess what?
Judges are gods when the court case is in motion.
Then guess what I'm doing? I'm doing a podcast right now.
Yeah. You're right.
I'm doing it right now. Let's get on with it right now. Find me, arrest me today. Let's roll. You want to play this with me? I'm not waiting. I'm going to go out there and talk right now. And whoever this noble podcasters that would be willing to do it, whatever the gag order is, agree to be willing to pay whatever the fines are,
Brilliant.
cover the fines. I know a couple friends I can call that would be willing to do this.
I know
But my
somebody.
suggestion is that if you want to do this and they want to silence you, well, let's actually see what the judge is going to do now. Let's actually call the guy's bluff. Let's do it right now. Put me in jail. Go ahead, put me in jail. Let's go and do it right now. Let's sit down and talk and say everything you want to say, but do it in a sense of, hey, allegedly, do it in that way and see what you're going to do. I would go like this and say, hey, call, all in, flip. What are you going to do? Go ahead. Go ahead, put me in jail. Do it. What are you going to do? And then see how they're going to react.
Call his
because
bluff.
for me, to sit this long and let this thing go, this is what I want to do. I want to get it to the point where Supreme Court is pressured to come in and say, hey, New York, what are you guys doing? What the hell are you guys doing? Is this America? Is this how we're going to be reacting to this? Let's play. Let's play right now. If you're going to take an angle like this and try to do something for a what? For a Stormy Daniels hush money, Michael Cohen's going around talking and this guy can't? Wait a minute. What do you that was the lawyer apparently, right?
Yeah.
If that's the case and that's going on, show me your cards. I want to see your cards. You know how sometimes you play poker and what do? You're like, I don't give a shit if I lose this $10,000. I want to see what the hell you got. For the sake of a lesson for me,
Yeah,
I'm willing to lose. I'll give you $10,000, but I want to know if I read you right or wrong. Boom. And they say, oh, shit, I was right. Yeah. Oh, shit, I was wrong. Great, but I want to know your hand. I think it's at a point right now that delaying this whole concept is strategically, I don't think the right move's being made. And by the way, again, I'm not on the inside. I don't talk to the campaign. I'm not sitting on the thing. But I don't think the idea of delaying a decision to be made is also good. I want to find out right now what your motives are. Are you dark and deceptive? Show me your damn cards. Show me your damn cards. Because what we learned, the Supreme Court doesn't stand with what Colorado wanted to do. What we learned, the Supreme Court, when Biden was lecturing them from the stage on his whatever annual, what do you call it?
White House Correspondents' Dinner.
You know what the Supreme Court did?
Oh, yeah.
Boom, they sat like that, not shaking. They were united against a president, even though we know 3 and 4 of them are liberals. They were America before politics.
Yep.
They were America before politics when he's trying to lecture at these guys. So to me, guess what? What gives me the confidence with America, is our Supreme Court. That's what gives me confidence with America. What gives me confidence that this republic's not going to fall is the Supreme Court. Well, guess what? Let's go straight to him. Let's force this guy to do this now. I don't want it to happen in October. I don't want it to happen in September. I don't want it to happen in August. We got an RNC coming up when? When is RNC? Is it July, June? When is RNC? Is it June or July? July 15 is RNC. Let's go. Let's go, because then you can't even talk here. Can you imagine if RNC happens? Oh, I would love this. Come on, Judge, let's play ball. I would love it if the RNC happens and the judge doesn't allow him to go to the RNC.
Oh man.
You know how crazy that would be? Do you know what would happen?
Oh my God.
First of all, your strategy of trying to both appease to Muslims and Jews backfired. 81% of people ages 18 to 35, lots of these guys are college students. You've lost, Joseph Biden. Now you want to play this? You want to use the DOJ? Show your entire cards, man. I want to see what you got. I think you're bluffing, but I think you're deceptive. I think you're dark. I want to know it now. I don't want to know anything close to July 15. Put me in jail right now is what I want to do. If that's the card you want to play, let's roll. Let's roll. Because this questioning process I just went through, Tom, if 90% of what you said is accurate and that's what's going to happen, let's accelerate this process. I don't want to slow play it.
I think that's.
I want to get to a decision.
That's a great point, and that's I hadn't. By the way, who thought of that? Who thought of a tactic where they're like, "Oh, you're still talking trash during that? Get him up." Because like, if one of the debates, or if he's on the debate stage and he does it, how far and few when there's a debate, when's the next one? How many days? It's like a
Usually,
Look, this is a weapon of the left.
month. Okay.
They tried to take judicial activism, which is to attempt to prosecute him, to say, look how many indictments he's got. Look at how many things he's got. And that's what they're trying to say. And Nancy Pelosi on MSNBC is sitting there using the talking point, oh, he was bad on the economy. He's bad on the economy. That's the talking points. But what has happened, they has turned judicial activism has become a cause for the people that appreciate freedom and see through this bullshit and are looking at it now and saying, wait a minute, they're trying to manipulate this. I don't stand for it. The polls are showing that Americans are not fooled, and more Americans have to wake up to what is happening that the Biden administration and their proxies are doing under this. I want to see it too, Pat. I want to see it. Judge, take your move. Take your best shot. You're a manipulative little peon sitting there on the bench controlling things, whether a man can go to his friggin' son's graduation or not. I was a foreman of a jury. There was a dental appointment for one of the lawyers, and we didn't go to court for 2 days. They move these things all the time. But for Trump, no, you can't go. You can't do it. This is manipulation. This is judicial activism, and people are seeing through it, and more people have to see through it. This is your country. Which one do you want to vote for? Do you want to vote for the one we have to get back, or do you want to vote for the one that's happening around you right now?
I love when Tom gets fired up.
I love it.
Especially against Vinny. Well, speaking of judicial activism, what is the famous quote by Roy Cohn, who is Donald Trump's mentor? He said, don't tell me the law, tell me who the judge is. So there's the judge, there's the jury, and the executioner. They could be all three. Speaking of jury, how the hell do you get a quote-unquote fair and impartial jury to try Donald Trump? Go ask a jury, hey, what are your thoughts on Donald Trump? Never heard of him. Can you tell me who?
Yeah,
no strong feelings.
Yeah.
What?
It's all BS.
Okay, this is one of 4 potential court cases, right? And this is actually the least pressing. This is Stormy frickin' Daniels and hush money and moving.
Who got fined? Who got fined 200?
Okay, when it gets into the Mar-a-Lago FBI stuff, then it gets into the Georgia stuff, and then it gets into the DC insurrection stuff. It's only going to get ugly.
Show me your cards. Let's do it. Let's play ball. Go ahead. You want to play this dirty? If anybody ever plays like this with you in business, and you've been behind closed doors when I'm on calls like this, if anybody plays to try to do this dirty to you, show it to me right now. Do whatever you threaten to do to me, do it to me right now. Let's go. Let's do it to me right now. I don't want to wait. I don't want to slow play this thing.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's see what you want to do. Let's see what you want to do. And let's see how America reacts to it. Let's see how America reacts to you trying to destroy this republic. Let's see. Let's see if the Constitution and our Supreme Court is more powerful than George Soros. Let's see if the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, everything that we have in place, let's see if that is more powerful than a whole mob that's trying to use the DOJ against the candidate. Let's see that. I am banking on the Constitution and our Supreme Court having the back of this great country. That's where my confidence lies. So I'd like to see what they're going to be doing.
And you've seen what the Supreme Court is debating right now, the whole concept of presidential immunity.
Yeah. Anyway.
So we'll see what happens with that.
So we announced the Minnect contest to come have dinner with us at Casa D'Angelo and go have dinner. Rob, go to the Leaders Bulletin. Folks, if you want to see the Leaders Bulletin, just go to Minnect.com, and all the way at the top, you'll see a Leaders Bulletin. Click on it. The video explains how to compete. It's whoever Minnects the most, both as experts, influencers, and those who ask others. As a user, you can compete on this. Rob, you can stay on that if you want. Just stay on that. Oh, you have the categories of where they are. But I want to see how many Minnects people are doing, and then we'll go to that. So right now, if you look at this, new experts on Minnect, lightweight, if you look at it, zoom in, Rob, Tulsi Gabbard has officially completed 72 Minnects that she has responded to, by the way, on Minnect. Second place so far is Brandon Davis, then it's Santino Tostani. John Ray is competing, but he's 4th place, and he got the rest of the folks. Even Ryan Garcia's at 7th place, by the way.
I love it.
And by the way, I think he's responded to every single Minnect he's gotten, and he responds in audio. So it's not like he responds. Rob, go to the other category for middleweight. If you look at middleweight, Fernando is still 1st place at 46. This is people that pre-announced in the contest. They were on here from April 16th. He's done 46 questions he's responded to. He's first place. He'd be invited to the dinner. Then it's Patterson, Tomos, third place. Look at the next.
Guys, get Kelly something next. Get her
Mara,
up there.
Kelly. Dame Dash is even on there at sixth place. Go to the last category. Heavyweight. First place is Dustin. Not even close. 138.
Dustin is
crushing it.
Calvin G, 77. Chris Cuomo, third place.
44.
And then you got everybody else. Now, Rob, go to home team. Go to home team. Who's dominating? Okay, dominating Vincent Oshana, 281.
Wow.
Then
Thank you, everybody. I love you.
Vinny.
Then it's Tom, 204. Adam, 75.
We're trying to catch up.
But I'll tell you guys here what's going on here in a minute with Vinny. Go down to the bottom with the people asking most questions. This is how you use Minnect is slowly but surely becoming the most a popular networking app because 95% of the time the people respond to you.
Yeah.
You want an answer back? Pay for it. You want to be waiting for 3 months? DM somebody on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. If you're lucky for. By the way, the number of people getting back to you, if you DM them, is less than 3%. On some apps, is 1%. Minnect is 91 to 95%. Look at the people asking the most questions. Show that real quick, Rob. So in first place is who? Zoom in a little bit, Rob, if you could, for the Terrell Hall, 76. Eddie Gossaker, 71 questions he's asked other Minnectors. Eric Link, 67. Very competitive, by the way, here. Now, go to the other side for people that have been using Minnect.
Wow.
Pre-April, Dustin is asking questions. Ozzy, second place one. So far, it hasn't even been 2 weeks.
Jeanette.
And top three, they're all above 100. Jeanette, Lahose, who comes to all the lives that we do, John Ray. Okay, so here's what I want to do, Rob. If you can go to all the QR codes, how many of you watching this, be honest, who here loves Vinny? Okay? Who here loves Vinny?
I do.
If you love Vinny, today is Vinny's birthday.
Good man. Good
okay,
man.
tomorrow is birthday, but today's Mario, and tomorrow we're not doing a podcast tomorrow.
Yeah.
So listen, today, tomorrow, if you love Vinny, you want to wish him a happy birthday, go on here, Minnect with him, send him some love, wish him a happy birthday. I'd like to see him get 200 plus Minnects today to cross 2,000. I'd like to see him get that. Send him some love. At the same time, you can Minnect Adam, myself, or Tom. And FYI, for those of you guys that haven't yet started competing, download the app. Start Minnecting today. Right now, if it ended today, Rob, can you go to the flyer showing who the top people are right now? We're going to give away belts, by the way.
Really?
The lightweight champion would have been Tulsi if it's today.
Tulsi.
Okay, the middleweight champion would be Fernando if it ended today. Heavyweight would be Dustin. The home team would be Vinny. For new users, it would be Terrell. And for existing users, it'd be Dustin.
Does have 2 belts.
He'd be having two belts. Listen, we're going to give it to him at Casa D'Angelo. Everybody at first place will be at the main table. Anyways, so there's a QR code at the top. Download it.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.